September 25 today, 2022. This is the first day of me living in a car. I've decided to move into my car after having several experiences here in Sarnia with sharing accommodations with other workers, and I've decided to give it a try. I've seen that other people on YouTube, they're making videos about their living in cars and in vans. I've chosen to live in the car. I tried to buy a van, but I just couldn't do it. I guess the interest rate is climbing in Canada and the US, and they're trying to stop a recession, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Right now, there are many wondrous things occurring in the world that is assuring our self-destruction. But in my little world, this is my first day after my first night sleeping in the car. It wasn't too bad. Someone said, "Oh, I don't know, sleeping in a chair, I don't know if I can do that." Except that this chair reclines and you can lay back. It's not a full bed stretch, but I've made some changes, and down by my feet here I put a very large pillow. It's pretty comfortable. You can roll to the left and to the right. That sound you're hearing back here is the gigantic dryer they use at the Goodwill. When people bring in clothes and blankets and towels and things like that, they dry them out to get rid of any possible bed bugs or other creepy crawlies. So yeah, I'm trying this out. So last night the temperature dipped down to plus 13, I believe, and I did feel the little bit of cold in this jacket and in my pants. So sleeping in your clothes isn't comfortable. You do it when you're hammered and you're passed out on the couch or something. You don't have the best sleep. But anyways, I'm in my pants, and I'm on my way to go to get a gym membership, take a shower. I've been puttering around town. I have nothing but time in this car. I have no roommates. I have no obligations in the house. No cooking, cleaning, laundry, no dishes. I did laundry already. So you can do that at the laundromat. You can take a shower at the gym. You can get a workout as well while you're there. You'll see the Velcro thing there. I put that up. I got the idea from another YouTuber who put up screens. Because this was an impromptu kind of decision, I decided on Saturday that I would go out and buy some material and use some Velcro to stick up some material to block out light, give myself some privacy. My car is full of property, but it's mostly pillows and laundry. And I have a couple of things in the back I could get rid of here at the Goodwill, and I'm probably going to do that. But I can foresee that this is a doable proposition. I have a feeling that, the sleep was peaceful. I have a feeling we should be able to get this done. It's September, so October's around the corner. I'm in Sarnia, Ontario. I'm working out here. And my first adventure began yesterday when I checked out of my room. Um, it started actually the night before I checked out of the room. I had a leaky tire, so I went down to the Princess Auto here in town. I bought a tire repair kit. I found the leak. I tried to fix it, but the handle that pushes the the the, the patch or whatever it is, the tube, it broke when I pulled it out. So the metal piece and the rubber and everything is still stuck inside the tire. So I had to put the spare on, and I went to work like that Saturday morning, and then I drove immediately to a local tire place. It's called Joe's Discount. I'm not supposed to tell because that would be indiscreet. Joe's Discount. And they sold me a tire for 125 bucks. Changed it within 10 minutes, like I was in and out before 10 minutes was up. After the HST, it was $141 in taxes. So total cost was $141. I'll be going back there to buy a second tire, probably next week. So that was the first adventure. I thought I would be out a tire. I thought I might actually break down somewhere, because the spare tire is very thin. It's not meant to be driven on. You can't drive around on that thing. And so Joe saved me. And if you're in Sarnia and you need tire repair, go to Joe. My dilemma with Joe was that the hours weren't they weren't perfect. So I was scheduled to work Saturday. If I had worked the entire day and if rain didn't come, I would have never made it to Joe's, because Joe is closed on Sundays. So I would have been in kind of trouble. I probably would have been in a desperate situation. More than likely, I would have had to go see an unscrupulous tire dealer who would sell me probably 4 tires for $650 that I don't need. But I didn't have to go through that. Joe's very reasonable, very helpful. Looks like he does a lot of business too. So cars were coming in and out of there on a constant basis. So when business is good, I guess you don't have to be a crook. Plus, you're in a smaller town. And if you have a bad reputation in a small town, you just lose business. It would just be a disaster for you. So you have to produce good stuff. And I'd say Joe's Discount Tires is probably producing some really good stuff there. People seem to really like Joe's Discount. I can't say enough about it. Saved me in a bind. And I'll probably go back. I have here, everybody has a crucifix in their car or something. I have mine. This is my crucifix. I hang this on my mirror. It's something many of you would recognize. Pew pew, pew pew pew. You can laugh if you want. It's okay. The things that bring me luck. So yeah, we're living in our car now. I mentioned that the rent here is, it's pretty high. If you want to rent shared accommodations, like a room with or a house with 3 rooms or 4 rooms or 5 rooms, they'll rent you a room for about $150 to $250 a week. It seems reasonable, but when you do the math, there's 3 to 5 rooms going up for about that much, and it works out to about $3,000 to $5,000 a month for the owners. So that's a pretty good business that they got going here. You don't get good sleep because your roommates wake up all hours of the night, and if there's 5 of them, the chances of them waking up are increased. Um, if you're trying to get some sleep, and sleep is essential to your mental health and well-being, your physical health as well, because if you start losing sleep, your blood pressure goes up, and if you have a heart condition, that's very bad. If you're a smoker, that's a very bad thing. If you don't eat healthy, elevated blood pressure is putting you at risk for a stroke or a heart attack. You don't want to live in those kinds of conditions. So I've decided, for those reasons and more, that I'll sleep very peacefully in my car. There's plenty of parking in Sarnia. I'm in one right now. There's a homeless man stopped by. I guess less than housed person is what we're calling it now. That's what we're calling them. They're not homeless people anymore. We're trying to be politically correct, and we call them less than homeless, or less than a home. I fancy myself to be a human rights expert. I should know this like an expert, but I'm more than an expert because I don't give a shit anymore. People who are experts at that kind of stuff are full of shit. They live in privilege, and they can pretend to be elevated above the rest of us and know how to speak. I used to be like that. Now I don't give a fuck. It's all a scam. But anyways, a homeless person came, and he plugged his phone into an external outlet that's along one of these walls. And I was wondering, where am I going to boil water for my coffee in the morning? So now I know. That guy was charging his phone, and he sat there for an hour while I was putting these blinds up over here. The Goodwill that I'm at is on Michigan Street. It's very nice here. Like, rich people are pulling up on a constant basis, almost every 5 or 10 minutes, dropping off their secondhand stuff, which is still in very new condition. I've seen $350 shoes in here on sale for $15, like new. There's $500 shoes in there right now for $25. It's crazy. I bought 2 hoodies. They would be regularly valued at about $80 to $100 each. I got them for, one was $8 and the other one was for $15. So I needed hoodies, so I got them here. And the only thing about car living that I would say so far, that I've figured out so far, is that you need to be organized for your daily routine. So your morning has to be flawless if you're working. You have to be able to know where everything is in an instant. Get it, use it, grab it, and go to work. You can't be fumbling around for stuff. It gets pretty messy. You need to be organized in here. And right now I'm disorganized. It looks like there's a lot of stuff behind me, but those are, most of the stuff back there is blankets and pillows. When I came out here, I had the imagination that I'd be sharing rooms with people. And so I brought a little bit of extra stuff. I didn't know what to expect. So this has been a learning experience for me. They'll be calling me back to work after they lay us off. We figure layoff will come around November 1st. Maybe later, maybe not at all. But if layoffs do come, I'm going to hit the road as a trucker, of course. And then they'll call us back. You make almost 3 times the amount of money working here than you would as a trucker. So trucking has officially become my second job, not my primary job. I'll drive truck through the winter and make videos, of course, share my adventures with you. And what we're going to do is wait for the call back. Usually comes in the beginning of May. And because I now have a lot of experience with the work that I'm doing out here, that makes me one of the first people they're going to be hiring back. So the pay is very, very good here. I've never made this kind of money before in my life. And if you can reduce your expenses, like don't pay rent in those unhealthy conditions that I mentioned, buy a van, live in that. It's kind of like camp life. It's camper living all summer long. There's YouTube videos to show you how to survive in the heat and in the cold. So, you know, if you're coming to Sarnia to work from other places in the country, I would suggest you do that. You're gonna protect your mental health and well-being. You're gonna protect your physical health. The downside is you can't drink. You can't be drinking and then getting in your vehicle that you live in. That's not wise. Not that drinking and driving is going to be a temptation for me. It's not. It will be for some, but it's just not a smart thing to do. You don't want to be getting in your truck, van, or car hammered. So I don't know if that affects your lifestyle or not. It doesn't have a whole lot of effect on mine. I'm enjoying the peace and the tranquility of being alone and not accommodating other people. I just get to be me. I get to do what I want, go where I need to go, and do what I need to do, and I don't have to be someone else's reflection. I don't have to behave for them. I just can be me. Yeah, and plus you put more money in your own pocket rather than somebody else's. So those are the benefits. Other YouTubers will tell you, you get to park where you want. You get to park in nice scenic places. Right now I'm in the back alley of the Goodwill here in Sarnia, which is a nice place to be, actually. This is a nice town. It's not bad. I've had a couple of comments for my last video on Sarnia, but I'm not done with Sarnia. There's other things that I have to say about it. There's other places I can go and show you. I mean, this other person was mentioning that Sarnia is a really bad and violent place. Lots of crime, from what I gather, but I haven't seen it. I literally haven't seen it. I don't see any. And I guess the homeless people are hiding in the parks during the daytime. I don't know. But I don't know. I do know that there's crime in every town, every city. There's you're always going to have some element. But in a town of 75,000, in a small town, it's a small city. Everybody knows everybody. I mean, if you want to sell cocaine, everybody's going to know who's selling cocaine in this town. It's it's not going to be easy. That's my point. Uh, I would suspect that the people who are buying cocaine um, don't want to have that supply disrupted by police. So I would say, Aesop, he's a poet. He wrote that we put petty criminals, or no, we hang petty criminals, and um, I'm ruining this. We hang petty criminals, but we elevate the bigger criminals, or something like that. I'll have to look it up. Well, you can Google it. Anyways, I totally lost my train of thought there. Aesop. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is, I think that if there is crime, it's probably nice and clean, and it's done politically correct by politicians, business people, corporations. Of course, I can't prove that. Nobody ever can. There's lots of scandal out there. We do know that there's scandal. You can look that up anytime you want. There's all kinds of sources that talk about that, even suppressed. So, yeah. But Sarnia is it's a town where you can probably live a violent and criminal life, but you'd have to try. You'd have to look for it. But like every society, there's always a lower and poorer class and most oppressed. And there's an upper class, an elite class, and there's a middle class. And those two classes, upper and middle, they press down on the poor. And the poor tend to press down on themselves a little too much sometimes. Not sometimes, all the time. It's all part of the system of identity that they're stuck in. But anyways, this is going to be an interesting adventure, to say the least. We live in our trucks as truckers, usually 14 days at a time, and then we're home for maybe 3 days, maybe 4, if they let us. But usually they don't. They have a load booked for us after 2.5 days, 1.5 if they can, because they're bastards and slave drivers. But you're out there and you live in your truck, so I figured, why not live in my car? Why I already know how to survive in a truck. I can survive in the car, and I can survive in a van. I'll get a van eventually, and we'll enjoy this adventure together. All right, I'm gonna close out now. It's a 25-minute video. I'm gonna get to show you some Sarnia, and we'll see if we can't find that ghetto that other person's talking about. I don't know where it is, but a couple of places have been mentioned to me so far since I posted that. A couple of people from working around town. Honestly, if you go by there, what you're going to find is single moms, and they call that sketchy. you're going to find low-income housing, and that's not their fault. That's through no fault of their own. You know that I always talk about the socioeconomic factors that play a role in oppression and making it hard for people, and the barriers that are placed in place. Uh, Sarnia has the opportunity to rid themselves of all that. They can do better. There's no excuse here. There is so much wealth. There is enormous wealth here that there's no reason why every young person can't be streamlined right into those workplaces that are all around here and given these opportunities. We can do better. I'm not from Sarnia, but I am now literally a less than housed person working and living in Sarnia, but I'm not from here. I don't plan to move here, but if I did plan it, I would probably move here. And if I did move here, one of the things I would say is that Sarnia is a wonderful city. It's filled with opportunity, but unfortunately, it's also filled with psychological barriers, I would say, that prevent people from being able to achieve what they're meant to achieve. We could facilitate that in a much better way. We don't have to be. We don't have to ignore the fact that we can do better. More can be done, as always, and in every city. Take care. War Chief out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.